One of the members of Diddy's group, Dirty Money, has spoken out. She breaks her silence, everybody, and she has a lot of things to say about Cassie's substance use and Don Richard's lawsuit.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? Kalenna Harper, one of the other members of Dirty Money, has officially broken her silence. She had a lot of things. Man, she had so many candid things to say about so many different things in this huge interview that she just did on Trapping Anonymous. And I'm going to be real, we're going to have to watch the full thing as a family on the main channel in a little bit. But I did want to break to you guys the information and just a little bit of a bullet points of things that she says in this interview that is very, very interesting. And also, I'm kind of curious if she's okay, because she kind of seems like, and with all due respect, I don't know her demeanor, but in the interview itself, it does seem like she's a little bit, maybe she's under the influence of something. Maybe she drank. I don't know. But it seems like she's on something. But that's just me asking for a friend, asking as a concerned viewer, because it does seem like she is a little bit on something. But anyway, I could be wrong. She did say a lot of things about Cassie and Don Richard, or the other member of Dirty Money. Let's not forget the former member of Danity Kane as well, who also has a lawsuit against Diddy, claiming that she saw and witnessed and was a victim herself at the hands of Diddy. So there's a lot that goes on. And let's not forget that Kalenna Harper is also the other one that has spoken out after Don Richard put out the lawsuit, saying that all the things that Don Richard put out is a lie. This is also the person that Diddy was calling multiple times, and she was letting him know, "Hey, I'm about to be a witness, to this. I'm about to do a testimony. I'm about to be a witness, and all of that." It's been very, very interesting. And let's not forget, he's in the middle of trying to get he's at his third and possibly, I think, final attempt at trying to get bond. So this is very, very interesting nonetheless. And the interview is wild. Like I said, we're going to watch a good chunk of it tonight, most likely. But I did want to give you guys some on the main channel. But I did want to give you guys some breakdowns of this. We got a little clip from the interview as well, which we are going to take a look at here as well. But it's absolutely crazy what she says in this interview. And again, it does seem like something's up, but I could be absolutely wrong. So she's best known as the third member of Diddy's Dirty Money. And this was also alongside Diddy, of course, and Don Richard, who also is a former member of Danity Kane. And she's also the one with the lawsuit, let's not forget. In a new interview, the singer speaks on her relationship with both Diddy and Dawn. She speaks on her relationship on both Diddy and Dawn, as well as Cassie, whom she says likes to get high during her tenure on the label. Yeah, we already knew that she was really heavy into some stuff. We already knew Cassie and Diddy were in that mess, in deep into those substances, those chemicals. We've been known that. But of course, we've been hearing that maybe a lot of those things were forced upon her. I don't know. But let's continue on. Again, all these things are alleged. But during this chat with Breakbeat Media, this was also on their YouTube channel, which came out today, Harper shares that she always admired Diddy, saying he's someone she's, quote unquote, always wanted to be like, while calling Cassie, who, of course, we already know has sued Diddy for various things, a naive woman who used substances and had no problem handing out lap dances at parties. Wow. Loved her to death. Love her to death. Naive. Liked getting, feeling good. You got to use these code words. Liked partying. This is what Kalenna described the long way to go singer. I saw Cassie grow up from a little girl that was willing to give everybody mother effing, lap dances, basically, get drunk and just have a good model time. When it comes to Dawn, Kalenna didn't hold back, calling her former group mate A weird B word. I don't F with Dawn like that. That's what she revealed, adding that she never witnessed the questionable behavior from Diddy that Richard described in her own lawsuit against him. And I'm going to F and stand on business. I didn't see any of that. What I saw was, what the F is going on with you because you're acting weird? You're a weird B, is what I see. And it's a list of N words. Where y'all at? Talk about it. Dawn's a weird mother effer, man. This is the first time she has spoken in defense of Diddy. She did speak on Instagram, which is true. She did put out a few things. She did make a statement in the past when Dawn put out her lawsuit. And of course, she was also denying these claims that Richard actually raised in her lawsuit back in September. She said, I acknowledge the recent lawsuit filed by Dawn Richard in which my name has been mentioned 33 times. While I fully respect Dawn's right to recount her experiences, I want to emphasize that her account reflects her personal perspective and should not be interpreted as a universal truth applicable to everyone involved. Diddy also defending himself following the suit, calling Dawn out, saying that she's seeking a payday. Mr. Combs is shocked and disappointed by this lawsuit. This is a statement from his lawyers. In an attempt to rewrite history, Dawn Richard has now manufactured a series of false claims, all in the hopes of trying to get a payday, conveniently timed to coincide with her album release and press tour. Interesting, right? Very interesting indeed. Now, of course, I get it. Everyone has their own perspective on their experience with Diddy. Now with Kalenna, she may have a completely different experience with Diddy than what Cassie or Dawn had with Diddy. That's a possibility here. Not every single woman that crosses Diddy's path, I would hope, is not instantly a victim. Maybe that's the situation here. Maybe he treated her differently than he treated Dawn, and maybe he treated her differently than he treated Cassie. We don't know. But we do know that those allegations that Dawn has put out, that Cassie has put out as well, are scathing. And the fact that Dawn as well is saying, I've seen Diddy put his paws on Cassie is something else. It's just interesting that you got Kalenna basically saying, nah, I ain't seen none of that, and those things are lies. But she had some more things to say. This is just a clip. Shout out to Dawn, Dialogue, the Art of Dialogue. Shout out to Art of Dialogue for pulling out this clip and sharing this. I thought this was very interesting, and it literally is quite a clip. And to me, it says a lot about how she feels about just Cassie to begin with. It's almost basically she's calling her a spoiled brat, which I think is very, very interesting. So let's take a look at this. And again, we are going to look at the whole interview most likely tonight on the main channel. But I couldn't not talk about this on this channel. So let's take a look at this here.
Cassie.
Love her to death, naive, like getting high. She likes partying. She liked that. Was the thing. She's a model. She was well taken care of. She was.
You told me a story about going to an apartment one time.
Yeah, which one? The fucking one that would look like a closet? That all white fucking condo in New York? That's just glass with glass stairs escalating up the fucking 70-foot ceiling, 100-foot ceiling.
Now, I've been seeing some people saying, I got to jump in and out of here for fair use and all that. But what's interesting here is, I've been seeing people in the chats, putting in their comments and all that. And they're like, yo, this seems like she's a bit on the jealous part. I don't know. What say you? To me, it seems like there is something about what she says in this interview in its entirety, what she says about Sean Diddy Combs, that is something, it's unique. It's different. We have yet to hear any people stepping forward on behalf of Diddy, not as much, but somebody who has worked closely with him is coming out and basically, I mean, she's denying. She's denying any of these claims. And I'm sure there's going to be more people that are stepping forward, but it almost feels like she's kind of lost in the sauce just a little bit.
Wild shit. Spoiled. So I'm not saying Cassie is not deserving of any of these things, but this was her life. And so though I was okay, I was like middle class, okay. She was like, rich girl, I want to go hang out with my friend for the weekend in fucking Tahiti, okay.
Now, if you notice, haven't you noticed a little bit? I mean, what I'm just saying right a second ago, don't you see a little bit of that? Oh, she gets to go jump on a plane and go to Tahiti. I'm just living that middle class life, just getting by, which, by the way, there's a lot of artists out here that would kill for that opportunity to live off of what they, live a middle class life, but it's being funded by your art and by your passion. I mean, a lot of people would love to have that, but I digress. But you can tell just a little bit. It just feels a little bit like jealousy. I don't know. Just a little bit.
And just lay up and get sun, okay.
You asked her how much she was making.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what her allowance was because she had an allowance. And I wanted to know if she was being smart with her money and she was being smart with the opportunity. Because the first thing I think is like, what would I do in that position? I don't know. I would own homes. I would have owned businesses. I would have been giving other people opportunities. I wouldn't have been waiting for Puff to do my project. I would have been doing my own project. I just would have had a lot more.
But I feel that in this situation with Cassie, every single move that she made had to be a decision made by Diddy. So if she was going to be out there investing in properties or going and starting her own projects and stuff like that, her own independent projects, that wasn't going to fly with Diddy. We, at least in the lawsuit and how they have broken it down, he was in absolute control over every single thing that she did. So that the only pushback I see on that is, where I feel like Miss Harper could be wrong here on is that part. She could be wrong on that. Because, yeah, I'm sure Cassie was so twisted on all kinds of different substances and maybe twisted all up in her own addictions and partying and all that maybe she didn't even think about those things. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you have somebody constantly telling you what to wear, how to look, what to do, what not to do, all that, maybe you're not thinking about those things as well. Or maybe she did try to go off and do her own thing, and then Diddy got upset and retaliated and punished her for trying to think for herself. That's another possibility as well. But let's continue on.
Like, nigga, you gonna do this shit for me? Because I would have done it for myself. And so when I asked how much she was making, it was like close to $30,000, almost $50,000 a week.
Damn.
That's a lot of money.
That is.
Even on the low end, when you say $10,000 a week, that's a lot of money for somebody to just, here it goes. You can just blow that. And then cars for your family, and then flights for your family, and then all that stuff. I'm just saying. And I'm just allegedly talking, right? Because who knows what she was really getting. Right? Because we don't know. But what I will say is, if in fact that's what Cassie was getting, and that's what she was privy to, I think I would have been trying to strive to show my husband that I was queenly enough to be entitled to take care of his billions and millions of dollars and possibly his children and be the queen of that empire. But I didn't see that per se. I just saw like Cassie having a good time as a young girl and really didn't want the bothers of like that life.
Okay. I mean, let's be real. Yes, Cassie was very, very young when she met Diddy and was very, very young throughout the entire time of their relationship, their toxic, volatile relationship. So, yeah, There's going to be a few things that are going to be a little different. I mean, if she was a grown woman, her approach might be a little bit different. Maybe she would have been able to get out of the situation that she was in if she was older a little bit faster than the situation that she was in when she was young. Maybe that's the situation too. But at the same time, I mean, Cassie's journey and Cassie's experience is Cassie's experience and Cassie's journey, not Kalenna's experience or journey. But it does feel a little bit like, first off, it does feel a little bit like she's feeling some type of way. Doesn't it to you? I mean, to me, it just seems like she's feeling something big, like she's I don't know. Something about this feels a little bit like jealousy. But then also at the same time, let's be real. She's very much defending and on the side of Diddy. And she may be lost in the sauce. That might be it. Or, again, she might have a completely different experience with Diddy than all of the 100 plus accusers and victims that have come out. She might have a completely different experience. And I feel like that's going to be the same thing, though. There's going to be a lot of people that will step forward bit by bit. They'll slowly trickle out, and they're all going to speak out. But each one is going to speak on their own experience. They're not going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, these rumors, so it must be true. No, they're going to say, hey, I knew him at this time. He was this type of way. He was kind to me, or he was an absolute jerk. You're going to hear both sides. So we hear from this one little small snippet, which we will be watching much more of it on Alive in a little bit. But what say you? Do you think she's lost in the sauce? Or not? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Crush that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.